Good morning, YouTube. I am in Facebook. I am Mama Earth. We are one. So this morning, a thought came into my mind because I'm at the post office. I'm dropping off some products. That from my customers, and I was watching my husband leave this morning for work, and I watch him study. And I also remember myself studying and struggling and going through all types of things. And the thought that came to my mind was jealousy. I observe a lot of people who are jealous of other people who are doing pretty good in life. People like, I'm just going to name some celebrities that you would be familiar with, like Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Steve Harvey, Iyanla Vanzant, Dr. Boyce Watkins. And I was thinking how I know these people have people who are haters, who are jealous of them. Roland Martin. And the reason I mention these people's name is because I admire them, because I know for them to get to where they are, it wasn't easy. It was hard. I know they had to spend time studying. They had to choose to skip that party and study. They had to choose to not to buy that expensive Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They had to skip those things, buying that that Mercedes Benz. They had to make a lot of sacrifices to accumulate enough so that they can invest in the business end of it. And I know that when they first started out, some of them probably had people who weren't supportive of them. Some of them didn't have people. Some of them had people who literally overlooked them, because they didn't want to see them get ahead. That's that crab in the barrel mentality. And that mentality will not lead you to your full potential and your success level, because one of the things that I learned is that when I celebrate other people, I notice that my blessings multiply. So a lot of times when I'm doing the Facebook lives, I'll say like and share or whatnot, and I'll notice that there's a few people that do share it. And I realize part of that is that they're looking at me like, I ain't trying to get, I don't want to see, I don't want to see. They're not consciously doing it, but subconsciously they're like jealous. And they're like, I'm not going to uplift somebody else at my expense. And that's the mentality that keeps a lot of people from being the 1%, the 20%, the 15%, because that you literally, what your subconscious put into the universe is what you're gonna reap. When you put out jealousy, you put out, you're unkind, you're selfish, there's a healthy amount of selfishness and there's an unhealthy amount of selfishness. Wanting everything to yourself and, looking at somebody up and down, none of that is going to get you to that success level that you really want. Just let me name a few more. Jay Shefty, Darman. These are motivational people that I admire seeing what they do. And I am so, Prince EA. And when you observe these people, you will notice that they speak positivity. They speak wealth and health into other people's lives. And in return, the universe is like, I'm gonna bless you with abundance. You know, people like Michelle, Barack, all those people, they went through hell to get to where they are. This is why, like, when it comes to voting, although I like Bernie Sanders, but I also understand that when you give people free, you give, they're gonna take, and not give nothing back. So, although I agreed with Andrew Yang and universal basic income, but I know that there is a way that they would refine it so that way, you know, young people who are in college, who are doing things, they deserve it. An 18-year-old young person who decide, I'm gonna hit the books, I'm going to college, I'm gonna get my degree, and I'm going to be a productive member of society. Those people, they deserve that $1,000 a month. I'm not talking about that person who wants to get high all day, thinking that they're gonna be a rapper. There's so many wannabe rappers in this in this world that it's not even funny. And these wannabe rappers are willing to say anything. They're willing to promote gun violence, drugs, doing drugs, selling drugs. They're willing to promote that because they want to get a come up. But the reality of it, most rappers, their longevity is not that high. At some point, they had to switch up. People like Snoop Dogg, he had to fall in line and get with the program. You notice that he apologized to Gayle King. And that's because that gangster stuff, it does not pay in the long run, because the universe, I promise you, the universe will give you what you sow. This is why there's a lot of things that the Bible speak of that I completely understand it. The more you read and understand the Bible, even though there are things in there that I'm still kind of like, I don't know about all that. I realized that seed thing, you reap what you sow. Because when you plant seeds, as a person who's a farmer, I will spend 8 hours literally just digging up the soil, working the soil, and putting fertilizer in the soil to plant that seed. And I am achy, I'm exhausted, and then I have, the live animals, and I have to give them fresh water every day. I have to figure out a way to build a system so that they can have automatic fresh water. And I have to take care of these animals. All of that is work. And I had to read up on things. I had to study to understand what seed grows what and what type of soil, and how I can make a soil that's not so good at growing certain things, how I can work that soil to make that soil produce. All of that is a lot of work. But one of the things I noticed about myself, I have never in my life, I can claim that I have never been jealous of anyone who's successful, ever. Part of the reason for that is because I know my own abilities. I know that there's nothing that a woman have or a man have that I cannot get for myself, because this world is abundant. It's abundant. This world is abundant. And I know that if I put in the work, I know that one day I will reap the seed. And even if I don't live long enough to reap the seed myself, I know my seeds The babies that I birth, I know they will reap the seeds. And so it is very important for you to watch what you think. Like when I was robbed by these thugs, the young man, I looked into his eyes and I saw that anger. And I thought to myself, he is angry because he made bad choices. He is angry at somebody else and feel I should come just take it from you because I'm not willing to put in the work. I'm not willing to get up early. I'm not willing to open that book. I'm not willing to go clean up after these animals. I'm not willing to do this. I want to, because I was born, I should automatically have everything. I should automatically, an employer should automatically pay me $50 an hour because I'm alive, because I exist. And to me, I'm like, that's not realistic. One of the reasons that I never stole from anyone is because, no, I'm lying, because when I was younger, I was very young. I was 14? I went into a store and I ate a bag of chips and I didn't pay for it. Okay, so, well, yeah. But one of the things these are little things that I did when I was very, very young. But in my adulthood, this young man and woman that was in the car, they had to have been in their 20s, 19, 20. So they knew better. But because they feel entitled, they decided that they were going to rob me. But the sad thing about it is that I realized that I do have a peace, because peace be still, keep a piece of steel, and he could have had a gun himself. Now, from where I was standing, I had the advantage. I could have executed all of them because my weapon, I was stationed behind a car where I could have aimed and I could have just fired. And had I done that, I would have blazed their car. But I would not have felt good about it. My conscience would have messed with me because I would have taken lives. And that is the power of jealousy. That is the power of jealousy, envy, hate. Is that thing that makes somebody think that they should just take things and they don't have to work for it. They are entitled to it. They don't have to work for it. Well, somebody say, well, Mama Earth, yeah, I am Mama Earth. We are one. Well, there are people that work, they work, but they don't get paid enough. I understand that problem. But at the same time, the business owner who started the business, built it from scratch, did the work, that person who started the business might have had a minimum wage job. They might not have, so why should they pay somebody else more when they had to work a minimum wage job in order for them to get to where they are? So I understand wealthy people, although I disagree with some of them, the 1% in particular, the ones that have $100 billion. I disagree with them to a certain degree, and I agree with them to a certain, So it's a tough one for me, because I'd imagine if I was a billionaire, in order for me to maintain that billionaire status, I'm not so sure that I would be able to just pay people a large amount of money, because nobody's paying me a large amount of money. Nobody is giving anything to me. Everything I have in life, I had to work damn hard for it. I had to sweat, I had to cry, I had to beg, I had to go through some things to get it. So now that I am on my way to a different place, and when I get to that different place, am I willing to just give something to someone who's not putting in the work? The one thing I do not like is when people they went to college, they got their degree, they had to study for it, it wasn't easy for them. I do not agree with the system of them not getting paid decent, good wages, where they don't have good jobs. That's the problem that I have. This is where I don't like the whole idea of the 1%, not thinking about those students, those people. This is where I'm conflicted. That's where I'm conflicted. And I just, I hope that the politicians get it together and do the right thing. And, like people like, teachers, healthcare workers, they deserve to get paid better. Anyone with who went through the work, who did the work, deserve to get paid, decent. Even people including people who went and got certificates, because to get certifications is not easy. Because when I was studying to become a medical assistant, man, I had I remember my cardiology class. Oh, was it the urinalysis class? I think it was the urinalysis class. No, that was I got a B+ in the. Which class it was? I got a C. I got a C+ in one of my classes. I don't think it was I can't remember which class it was. Oh, yes, you can. Yeah, it was the cardiology class. Cardiovascular class. And that was my hardest class. Oh, my goodness. I remember I had to write a paper, and I was just like, oh, my gosh. How am I going to finish this paper? And I didn't have that much time because I was working, and I still have to take care of I still have my child to take care of. I was like, how am I going to finish this? How am I going to get this paper in? And I hope I get a decent grade for that paper. Lo and behold, when I did that paper, I got a B- for it. I was disappointed because I really wanted an A. But I realized that I don't think I studied enough for it. So, But anyway, long and behold, like, I completed the class, I completed the training, and I graduated, which I'm very proud of myself. And all the other certifications that I went and got, I had to put in work. I didn't feel like being in class for 5 hours. No. But I did it. So therefore, I don't allow myself to get jealous of anyone. Because I watch my sister, who's back in Haiti. She is a doctor. My sister's a doctor, and I used to watch her with those big, thick books. And I remember she brought home some bones, some human bones, and she was studying it, and she was like, and she used to look at us and try to study on us, and I remember watching her doing all this. Now, a woman like her, if you see how she has if she has a beautiful home and her kids are doing well, for you to be jealous of somebody like that, there's something wrong with you. You got to really analyze yourself and ask yourself, well, how can I get to her position? Simply ask, hey, so-and-so, how did you get to that? And there's so much information out there for you to get to that place. The information is out there. It's not going to be easy. Here's the thing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall. But don't stay in those mistakes. Don't keep repeating those mistakes. I've seen people who know right from wrong. They know better because they've made their mistakes and they continue. If you've been arrested, you've been to jail, you spent 6 months. If you go back and repeat the same crime, especially like armed robbery, you deserve everything that comes to you. And these are the very people that end up in those low budget nursing homes. They're the very same people that end up, society. They're the same ones that you see homeless in the street. They the same ones because they weren't willing to put in the work. They didn't care about putting in the work. Me personally, if I had my way of punishing them, I would put them into slavery. Like literally, you would be working there. We would have to create some plantation somewhere and work your ass from morning till 6 p.m. You'd be working. You'd be digging up soil. You would make the world a better place. Every single country and nation would be fully built because of these prisoners. Because at some point in life, you can't keep doing the same old stuff and expect society to pay for your nonsense. It doesn't make sense. Especially if you're in America, the land of opportunity. Like, what I look like holding up somebody at gunpoint? Because they have, I don't know, I see them with a cell phone, say the new iPhone. And because I'm too lazy to do the work to obtain those things myself, I decide, let me go rob somebody. Now, when your behind get caught and you're in prison, and everybody's supposed to feel sorry for you because, oh, well, I didn't have my mommy and daddy. Oh my God, I was raped. All this other Here's the thing, yeah, those things do happen. As a survivor myself, been there, done that. When I was in junior high school, I remember these girls. I was living in this home, and I remember this trifling girl who set up a group of people, and they assaulted me. They jumped me because that coward girl couldn't fight me one-on-one. I was one of the people. If you and I got into a fight, I'm aiming to kill you. Thank God I didn't kill nobody, because Lord knows I would have been spending the rest of my life in prison right now because of this trifling, tacky girl who knew better. She knew better. And I just saw a video of this group of kids in Brooklyn who assaulted this girl, and it was males too. And I'm thinking to myself, now these people know better. They know right from wrong. They know, because it's out there. I make YouTube videos. Dr. Boyce, Michelle, they talk. So you have the information for you not to do these things. But if you're choosing to do it, those consequences, you're gonna pay them. You will pay those consequences. Those negative consequences, you will pay. And I'm telling you, when that heat gets you, you're gonna wish for death. You're gonna feel like your only way out is suicide. And if you choose to commit suicide, that might not be such a bad idea, because you know what? Any useless person who's willing to traumatize somebody else, or because they're jealous, to me is just, these scum of the earth. I have zero pity for them. Because there was never a time in my life where I set it up, I arranged for a young girl that I didn't like, or a man, whoever, just because I didn't like you, or because I was jealous, and I set up for somebody to beat you and assault you. There was never a time in my life that I would have done that. Never. And I'm here in here in Georgia, I think it was Cobb County. This group of three teenagers went inside this homeowner's home. Went inside this homeowner's home, and they were killed. The homeowner executed them. As tragic as that story was, I understand. A lot of people had zero empathy for them. And I was empathetic because they chose that way. They chose a way that is destructive, stupid, inconsiderate. And that choice they made cost them their lives. A part of me kind of hoped that they didn't get killed. A part of me hoped that they would have been crippled. This is where I'm iffy with the law too, because the law allows these people to come back and sue the homeowner. Well, I hope that the law get it together, that if these people bring those lawsuits, the homeowner can sue them for emotional distress and all that other stuff. But I thought that them being paralyzed would be better. One of the things, there's this thing called Sharia law in Islam that some of it I completely agree with. Some of these people do deserve to lose a limb. Because maybe if we catch them in the act, they did it, they terrorized somebody else, maybe they need to lose a few fingers or lose a hand. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe then they'll think twice. And I think in Sharia law, you get a first chance, but you don't get a second chance. And that I agree with. All of that